Hey, Joey Baseballs. Hey, you doing, man? Hey, not for nothing. How great are the Yankees doing?
Oh, forget about it. How you doing? What a year it's been. My boy Charlotte's called. He wants us to do a little something special for the fellas.
Yeah, wait a minute. This little ditty we're going to sing right now?
Ready to hear this?
Wow, this is awful.
This is really bad.
What's the vintage on this?
I have no idea.
Who is this?
What is 1999?
This is the B-52s?
It doesn't even say who it is.
Yeah, they didn't want to take
So,
any credit
some
for this.
Goomba from
Whoa, that's our word.
from the Bronx, probably.
You better show your Italian card right now.
I'm Italian.
No, I know.
How you doing?
Dude, I don't know what it is. Anytime that I pull up to the city, I just want to just make fun of their accent. Like I'm always just like, we're here in the Bronx. You know?
That one dude that
How you
your
doing?
grill in the parking garage had a thick
They all did.
Brooklyn accent. He's like, I fucking love that grill, man. It's hilarious.
Yeah, it's a good grill. You want to fight about it?
This guy pulls up in like
I like a grill.
what is it? Not a Maserati. What is the other? Alfa Romeo. He pulls up in an Alfa Romeo, and then his buddy pulls up in like Audis. I should say, Jerry and I went to a ball game yesterday. That explains all the shit. But so these people pull up in these like $100,000 cars, and they see me on this like $10 Walmart single burner fucking with a frying pan and like 16 dogs.
Sorry, I was a minute late on that.
You're good. And like the whole time, Jerry's like absolutely freaking out that we're gonna set off the sprinkler in this complex.
I was so
Or,
nervous.
excuse me, this parking complex. Dude, I've never seen more of a pussy in my entire life. He's just like, but guys,
I'm just like, I was so nervous because like it got smoky for a little bit, and it was like, I'm just waiting for someone to be like, hey, what are you doing?
you know, cars produce smoke, right? It's like a byproduct of combustion.
Yeah.
Most cars. So like,
Smoke?
you think that they would maybe account for that when building a parking garage and the threshold of like
Maybe.
Jerry was
I never
like
thought of it like
the
that.
what was it? He was like a stage right before Debbie Downer. It was like a worried Willie or something like that.
Yeah, I was. I'm letting you do your thing, but I'm cautious.
I feel like everybody. Why does everybody say that about me?
I gotta stop doubting you. I mean, you never let me down.
Sometimes doubt. Definitely. There was one time where like I was at a Fish concert with Jim, and I like rolled up and I had just stolen 2 beers from like it was like big tall beers. It was like $20 worth of beer. And I was just rolled up. I was like, just took these. And I just immediately got nabbed by the guy who'd been chasing me.
Ed literally like hands me a beer, and I'm like, sweet. And then like I turn over to look at Ed, and Ed's just being dragged away. And I was like, I have to go after my buddy.
Oh, that's awesome.
It was cool though because they just needed to make a show that they're not gonna like tolerate that, you know. So
Yeah.
like this, I stood there for a little bit, and everybody was like, "That's not right. Let him back into the show.
Let him go.
Let him go. That's not right."
Actually, that one girl was like screaming at you though. She was like, "Fuck this guy!" And you were like, "No, fuck you, lady!" Like,
I don't recall these events. No.
Anyway, welcome to Butt Stuff, everybody. This is your premier Sunday morning podcast happening on a Sunday morning. We're here with the whole gang.
We are.
We're back.
Ed, Jim,
We're
Jerry,
back.
of course, me being DJ. Hot off of a hot Yankee game that Ed and Jerry went to.
I did not watch.
I
Where
gotta
the
say,
the Bronx Bombers beat the Swaks.
yeah.
Fuck
I
the
only
Sox.
really enjoy going to Yankees Red Sox games, just because it's my childhood. You know, I don't know, just talking shit to all my Sox fans.
That is what the highest energy is. You know,
Yeah.
probably the biggest rivalry in all of sports.
If you're gonna go, you know,
Mhm.
why not on Sox versus Yankees? You know,
Exactly.
Opening weekend. That was a first.
Yeah, opening
Yeah.
weekend. Yankee
Was
Stadium,
it
the house
packed?
that Ruth
It
built
was, yeah, it
again.
was very packed. It was crazy.
well there were still empty seats. That's the thing that always pisses me off. Like coming from like those could be our seats.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we could get those.
But like it is one of those things where like I'm not gonna lie to you, I have a lot of trouble watching a baseball game on TV. It's just like I could just come in the ninth inning and get the complete idea, you know, or like just highlight reels ruined it for me. But you need to for me, you need to be there at least.
When you're there, I feel like time flies. Like during a game.
Bless you.
Like if
Thank
you
you.
watch a game live on television, that shit does kind of drag. But when you're there,
Well, yeah, because you're
fucking
looking at your phone the whole time, and then you're like, oh, anytime I don't know.
Yeah, when you're in person too, there's like in between innings, you're not just sitting watching commercials.
yeah.
So it's not like, you're sitting there with your boys, you're like, oh, I'm gonna go grab a hot dog. $13 hot dog.
That's
Oh,
another
yeah.
thing I should mention. I might have had the most hot dogs that I've had in one day yesterday.
How close were you to beating the Joey Chestnut record?
Nowhere near it. Nowhere near it. I don't know how that guy poops the next day.
So here's a question. What's the most amount of hot dogs anybody has eaten in one day? And
It has to be one of those guys.
I think
after that, well,
yesterday.
out of everyone in this room here, and then how many do you think you could possibly put? What's your max that you think you could put down?
Are we talking minis or like are we talking Gussies or ballpark Franks?
We're talking Nathan's
Full on
hot dog eating competition on 4th of July hot dogs.
standard
You can
hot dogs.
dip the buns in water to make
Oh.
them slide down smoother if you'd like.
Oh man, I don't know.
I had 5 yesterday and I felt pretty full, but I think I could go for another 5.
That's impressive. 10
Damn.
hot dogs.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. Just like when I woke up this morning, I shit like this little tiny skinny rope, and I felt like it was just all the dogs,
Just one.
like single file.
Linked one right to the next.
Yeah. Dude, I've had three poops today, and all of them were worse than the last.
3 poops already.
Yeah. Well, I had a big coffee boy. I did a couple hours at work, and I got to go back after this. But it was like one of those things where I honestly think I felt the sodium in my system for the first time, just eroding my vital organs. It was like something like 300 per dog milligrams.
Damn.
So I think I think that's like your daily recommended value. Or something.
Probably.
Like, what is it? There's no way. And if the beers were like drying you out too, because they're supposed to. No, there's no way. It's Miller Lights.
Yeah,
They're
the
hydrating.
beers are supposed to lube up your insides for the hot dogs. It's like I think like 5 might be my max hot dogs and buns
Oh,
that
you
I
can
could
do
eat.
more than 5.
Keep it
I
going.
don't know, maybe 6. That's why it's so astonishing to me when Joey Chestnut eats 53 in 10 minutes. I'm like, that's like 10 times the amount that I could eat. That's inhuman. I think that might be the most impressive sports feat of all time.
Is it a sport? That's another thing we should talk about.
I would say so. It's competition.
Yeah, and they have to like
They compete against other people. You can like look over and see, how the other person's doing and eat more.
and they have pretty serious like training regimens
Yeah,
too.
you
that
got to
they-
train that body.
Yeah.
They're definitely. It's an eating disorder though, right? It's like who has
Oh, for
the
sure.
worst eating disorder?
Yeah, no, it's definitely not healthy.
But like okay, that's like one of those things where like everybody talks about how like all the all the ice skaters have like eating disorders and gymnasts and stuff like that because they have to stay so like trim. But nobody talks about like competitive eating. Like those dudes, like nobody cares. That's what it is. Nobody really cares. They're like, yeah, I'm gonna. It's like when Howard Stern would have like all the people who could do like the craziest shit on his
Mhm.
show like way back in the day.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's just like they're just freak shows. It's a circus act, right? So like there's like a threshold of like caring that is just way lower for competitive eating.
In the sports world, they are like the weird kids.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
They're not even the fat kids. That's the weirdest thing. Is like you think fat people would crush.
Is it an Olympic sport?
I don't think so.
There's no way.
Hot dog eating.
Yeah, I don't think
I
so.
think they should consider it for more views.
They definitely viewership on the Olympics has been down. Let's put it on hot dog eating. That's funny. Yeah, because Kobayashi is like one of the greatest all time next to Chestnut.
Yeah.
Dude's like 5'2", like 110 pounds.
It is crazy.
Dude houses hot dogs. It's ridiculous.
I didn't return any results on. Are they considering it for the Olympics? There should be like. I don't know. That's kind of bad, I guess, because some of the countries have like food shortages that are participating.
Yeah,
Bro, we're going through a food shortage.
Are we? What are we short?
not hot dogs. I'll tell you that right now.
There's plenty of hot dogs. There will always be plenty of hot dogs because Dude, all right, I was polling people. I was like, what kind of hot dogs you want? And Jerry's like, ballpark Franks, nothing else. And I look at ballparks and it's like, contains chicken, pork, beef, and just like all this other shit. I'm like, oh, it's just like they just grind up all the other shit.
That's pretty much it. Extra beak. I want extra beak in my hot dogs.
Get a good toe.
I don't know though. It is something where I kind of, I don't know why. I just want to see like a big boy. Like I want to see some Andre the Giant looking dude just housing like dogs that look like his pinky, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know why it bugs me so much that it's just some tiny little dude.
Yeah.
I
mean, there are huge, like, people there that are, it's not all like tiny people.
Yeah, but that's like they're like, I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna get these fuckers. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's like
true.
them being vindicated. That's like
Mhm.
if you like if you're already that size, it's like you might like, hey, I'll go there. Like, no, it's okay. He's training. Like then you get to say that to anybody who's just like, is he okay? He's in training.
Yeah.
Nathan's hot dog competition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those big guys must hate Chestnut and the little guy because like their whole lives they've been big. They've been clowned on because they're big, and people make fun of them. And they're like, you know what? The one thing I'm good at is eating, so I'm gonna win. And then Chestnut comes in, and he just blows him out of the water. He's like, God damn it!
Those people should donate their body to like research, like when they die.
Yeah, what's your secret?
Imagine all the nitrates and shit like that, like all the chemicals for like they cure hot dogs. Do you know how hot dogs are made?
Oh,
I don't think you want to know how hot dogs.
when
are
you
made.
say, I'm not entirely sure.
They've never done that. How
Like
it's made on Discovery.
sausages.
It's just
No.
they just take all the shit, the undesirable meats, they grind it up, they boil it, and then they case it, right?
Yeah, mix it with fat, probably.
Whole lot of salt.
Grind it all up.
Whole lot of salt.
Dude, I was just like thinking the other day when I was at Yankee Stadium, like I feel like they started baseball because they needed to sell the byproducts from all the meat packing in the Bronx. Like they were just like, we need some degenerates to eat these fucking dogs. Like Say Brett's hot dogs were just like, yeah, we need a stadium
Mm-hmm.
of peasants. We need to load them in there and then make them an offer they can't refuse. You hungry? You drunk?
Eat
Give
this.
us $5 for the worst hot dog you ever had in your life. That's another thing too. Like I got a hot dog. Like okay, I had my fucking like Jerry said. Oh wait, well maybe that was off the pot. I brought a frying pan of just like Say Brett's and Nathan's and cooked them in the parking garage on like the little 1-burner stove, and those were infinitely better than the dogs that I got at Yankee Stadium. Same dog supposedly. Supposedly it was Say Brett again, but it was just like a cold fucking hate made dog.
Yeah, Josh came back with a dog, and it just looked
Despicable, dude.
borderline raw and
Ugh.
sloppy.
That's the thing about a dog. They're never raw. They have to
Yeah.
boil them before they leave the store.
Did you so you guys know the origin and history of the word hot dog?
Mm-mm.
So I heard this when I was in
Big dong.
in New Orleans recently. So basically, some guy actually started selling them at ball games, and they were like, German sausages. And then some dude was like, "These are disgusting. They're like the worst things." So he was a cartoonist, and in the local newspaper wrote like a cartoon that was like, "They're actually literally dog meat." And said that they were like hot dogs on a smear campaign saying they're actually hot dog meat. And then the guy who was selling them just embraced it and was just like, all right, get your hot dogs. And then it just took off from there.
Wow.
Dude, I love shit like that where like
Yeah.
somebody's like, hey, yeah, and they like throw shade and it's just like, no, exactly that. Yes, thank you.
I guess that's like
Yeah, it is dog meat. It's delicious.
That's
Have one.
marketing judo.
there's no bad publicity. It's you're just embracing what you get.
Exactly.
Like mad cow disease. Like no, I'm just kidding. No, I don't know. It's so crazy. Like when you look at like all the shit that like it just started from like a marketing thing, like the got milk thing. Like my entire life when I was growing up, I thought that milk was like a healthy beverage choice. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
I'm gonna grow big and strong because I drink my milk. Like my mom supported that. Like, oh, you gotta get your cow, like all that shit. Like just then you have like 110-pound chugging whole milk.
So much milk.
Dude, I don't know. There's what's the other one? There's like I feel like kale. Kale was one of those like I believe kale's good for you, but that was like something like 5 years ago, 10 years. I forget what it was exactly, but everybody was like, kale is like the healthiest food ever. Like some douche on a farm was just like, I made way too much kale. What do we do? Tell everybody it's the new superfood.
You know, every year through the 90s, who the biggest supplier of kale was?
Christian Bale.
Christian Kale.
Christian Bale's Kale.
Incorrect.
Who
Pizza
was-
Hut.
What?
Because they would use it all on their the Pizza Hut buffet. They would just line it with kale, and then no one knew it was actually healthy for you, and you'd eat it. So for like years and years and years, Pizza Hut was the biggest supplier of kale.
Damn.
How is this? Is this like a trivia question that you absorbed? Like, how did you?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's
Wild.
absolutely what it is.
That is crazy.
Yeah, and then eventually someone was like, "Hey, you can actually eat that stuff that's on the bottom of the buffet."
I
That
feel like
lines
it-
all the plates of the pizzas.
It was totally used as like a garnish or like a decoration on plates, right? Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if you think about it, like who would look at that and be like, "Oh, I got to get a plate of that stuff."
Probably
That
like
curly lettuce
Yeah.
that's hard.
it was like a homeless guy that they'd give the extra kale
Homeless
to, and
people don't eat
he's
kale.
just ripped. And they're like, "What's his secret? We just feed him kale." Wait a minute.
Yeah,
It's rabbit food.
Dude, I've never
healthiest
seen.
man on earth.
I've never seen. Like, I feel like if you showed up, like, there's a guy who hasn't eaten in 2 days. He's panhandling out on the block, maybe in the Bronx. We don't know, right? If you see him and you're like, "Hey, man, I got this salad," he'd be like, "Get that shit out of here."
Yeah.
Kale.
I don't think I've ever seen a home like a let's not call him homeless, I guess, but like a vagrant. Never seen any. Is that worse? Never seen any of them eat
I was
anything.
wondering the same thing.
Like it's usually just like pizzas and like stuff like that, like or like
Hoagies.
hoagies.
Give a homeless man a hoagie.
You give a homeless man a hoagie,
You get-
Slices
you
of
get a-
pizza.
Good
Probably
luck.
big.
dude.
Here's a Reuben.
What's the best thing you ever gave a panhandler? Like one of those things where you're like, this should get me through the next couple of years of good deeds.
I don't really give too many
Yeah, I don't
handouts.
know.
A knuckle
$1.
sandwich.
Yeah, probably a few dollars. I got followed by a homeless guy the other day.
Nice.
Pretty sure he was about to try and mug me, and then a cop came up and stopped him.
Oh,
So
wow.
you gave him a good angle on that donk.
Where was that?
So I was walking. It was a nice day out. I was going to see the Batman movie at the Madison
The
Theater.
Batman?
And I was like, I live close enough where I could walk. So I was like, hey, I'll just walk. So then I get to like halfway there, and there's a homeless guy up, and he's just like, I just walk past him, and he's just like, hey, you know what time it is? Because that's like, I don't know if you guys know that's how they get you, because they ask you what time it is to see if you have like a nice watch on, or like pull out like a nice phone to like see if you have nice stuff. So I just don't respond. I keep walking up the sidewalk. He walks probably like half a mile up the median in the middle of the road, just like following me. And then I take a left, and then he turns and follows me. Then finally walks another half mile up the median, and then gets off and like gets on the sidewalk and starts walking behind me. And then like a cop just like pulls up and like pulls over. He's like, hey, what are you doing? He's just like, oh, it's just about to head in.
I'm about to rob that kid.
Because they like don't you're not allowed to actually panhandle like on the streets, so he just does it anyway, and then the cops come and he's like, oh, it's just heading in.
It was a big thing on Everett Road for a while. They cracked
Yeah.
down and they had
Yeah.
like sting operations and shit like that. It is wild though, because like I don't know. Like what if all like another thing is, how do you know? You instantly know when somebody's homeless from like at least 20 feet away. You're like, oh, definitely this dude.
Yeah.
Like what? How do we know? Have you ever been mistaken for homeless?
No.
It shit
Well,
hurts.
as a joke, people like, you look homeless. Or it could be serious. Sometimes I look homeless.
My brother was returning cans, and someone thought he was homeless. He was like, I'm just returning the cans.
Anytime well, now my beard's getting big, but like for a while, like I just was like, when I got the job at UPS, I think for like 3 years or like 2 years, I was just like, yeah, I'm not gonna shave, not gonna like get haircuts, stuff like that. And then I eventually broke and did, because like it was like 2 days in a row, maybe 3 days in a row, I got mistaken for homeless and like shoot out of places. Like I remember like I was going to work early or something like that, and at 5, and I was like outside the Stewart's at like it was like 4:50, and I was like trying to see if somebody came out and was like, go on, get. I'm I have money.
Go on now.
I just look unfortunate.
I want a milkshake.
And then so like when that happened, I was just like, oh, I should probably go get a haircut. So there's like a guy who lives on the street, like this little Italian guy. I think the name of this shop is literally Guido's Barbershop or something like that. So I'm like, this guy will take me in. Like, you know.
It'd be funny if like barbers shoot away homeless. Like
Dude.
you can't get a haircut. They're all like, out here, you.
So I go in there, the door's open, right? This is the guy I've seen on the block mad times. Probably seen him like for 5 years. I just seen him pacing. He's just an old man. And I'm like, oh, you know, I want to go get a classic old man, you know, Italian dude haircut, you know? And I'm going in there and I'm like thinking like, oh, he's going to love, you know, being able to shape this into like a respectable looking man, my homeless looking beard and hair. I'm sitting in there. I'm like, oh, where the hell is he? And I just sit in like one of the waiting chairs. I'm sitting there. He comes downstairs. He's like, hey, get out, like screaming at me, like get out, like chasing me out. I'm like, I just need a haircut. He's like, no, get out. He's like acting like I moved in.
Jeez,
It happens.
it's business.
Is it?
That's
Business would be
business.
cut the hair, get him out of there.
Nothing personal, buddy.
Hey, this is not business. Get out.
It's just business.
I don't care if I have $100. I'm not cutting your homeless head. I don't
like
know.
like the pizza place that used to be at the end of the block.
No
Like-
refunds.
No,
yeah.
pie hole.
Yeah. The I wasn't about to shout out the name.
No,
But,
fuck it. They demolished the place.
Yeah, go on.
It was basically just a pizza place that you'd walk in there and there would be no one behind the counter, and like there would be no evidence that there was ever any pizza cooked there. And then there
That
was
place
just
was a front.
a baseball bat on the wall that just said refunds on it. And you're just like, all right, well, let's just go.
Was it you that ordered from there once?
I remember I walked down there and tried to order, and then there was just no one there. And I was like, all right, let's just go.
I remember it was always weird because like especially if you go down second like a little bit, like a lot of these random shops would pop up and it would be like they'd have like 5 t-shirts on the wall and like some like old beat Nikes in a case or something. It'd be
Yeah.
like I'd go in there just to like pop in because I'd just be doing laps around like, you know, the neighborhood, just like go in there, be like, oh, let's see what they got. And I go in there and I'd just be like, oh,
Yeah.
oh,
They try and sell
This is
you
fake.
a
$1. It would be too much right
Aren't-
there.
What makes it a portable DVD? I mean, I could just unplug my DVD player and then it's portable.
It has a screen too,
Oh,
so that you
okay,
could watch.
yeah, I guess.
Say most
Yeah,
things.
and batteries.
Most things are portable.
Yeah, portable.
Yeah.
Yeah, those portable DVD players were dope. Being a kid, having like
Back in the
those,
day, yeah.
oh yeah, those long drives with the parents.
Mm-hmm. That was
Break out
key.
the- oh yeah, got to watch your Family Guy.
Dude, I remember. Okay, what was your go-to DVD for like trips like that?
Oh, I loved Rush Hour 2.
Classic.
That's a really good road trip.
Classic
movie,
road
actually.
trip
I would
movie.
always watch that movie. Yeah, Family Guy. It wasn't until later that I started watching. I had Always Sunny seasons 1 and 2 on DVD.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was good.
I still have Somebody's Always Sunny kicking around somewhere. It's probably yours.
I went to I was at work Thursday and we were talking about Lord of the Rings. Like, God, we talked about Lord of the Rings for so long, and then we were talking about Korean food right after. Man, there's a lot of good Korean spots in the area.
Mhm.
But we were talking about those things, and then I left work and I went to Salvation Army, and there was a bin of DVDs that I swear to God, it like reminded me of John's bin of DVDs. It was like every movie that he had, and I was
There you
like,
go.
I know that I have Lord of the Rings, and I was like, I'm sure it's at Hurlbut Street, but can't hurt to just get it again. And I was like,
Yeah.
they have it right here. We've been talking about it. So they didn't have Fellowship, so I got Two Towers and Return of the Kings, and then got some K plate, got some Korean food.
There you go.
Man,
Off the charts.
it was a solid day. God,
That's a good day.
it is hilarious when you like having the DVDs for the Two Towers and Return of the King, because it's like incredible, like must be like a landmark feature, most like visual stunning thing ever. And then like you turn it on and the CGI graphics are so fucking old
Yeah.
now, where you're like watching Gandalf with the Balrog and you're like, it's so cheesy looking, but still
Spend
epic.
hours watching your favorite movies over and over again.
So wait, okay. So Jim, was your go-to movie? Was it Lord of the Rings, like for road trips, or like?
No, we didn't really have the didn't really have that for a
Game
lot
Boys?
of my road trips. Yeah, a lot of it was Game Boys. My stepdad had the DVD player in the truck. And we would usually just like rent DVDs or like rent something if we were going to go. And the only one I can remember off the top of my head is K-Pax. Like we watched I just remember
The
because
one
like
where Kevin Spacey's like the alien.
yeah, I just remember we watched it like on the way to and from New Hampshire.
Classic movie.
When I say my road trips too, I went on 2 road trips and I watched Scary Movie 3. The way there, the way back, the way there, the way back.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's
Jerry's
pretty much
parent.
it.
Oh, sorry. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
no.
Jerry's parents were told him to stop watching the DVD, and he's just like, no. And then his dad's like, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Do you understand? What's it called though? More often than not, like when my family was doing road trips, it was more like me and my sister would have Game Boys with a worm light, and it'd be
Mhm.
dark as shit, and we'd just be back there, and we'd have headphones plugged in, and there'd just be like a cloud of cigarette smoke that we're like trying to like see in front of our face, all the Game Boy shit.
Those lights back then were clutch.
Oh my
They
god,
were.
dude! They weren't backlit back then. The
Yeah.
Game Boys, they were so dark. I turned one on the other day and was like, well, not the other day, but I was like, I don't remember how the fuck I even see this thing.
You turn the contrast all the way up, and then like fucking have like an angle. Sometimes you'd have to use the person behind you's fucking headlights to. I don't know. What an era. When I think about it now, though, like, it was so much better than just having a kid face full of an iPad playing Roblox or Roblox, whatever the fuck it is.
No, dude, yeah, because you're right, you had to work for your entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you guys ever do you remember before like the portable DVD players came out? Like did you ever take like road trips when that would happen? So
Yeah.
you'd just be like, all right, well, what do we do? Let's play the license plate game. And then you get an hour in, you're like, Montana, and someone's like, shut the fuck up. No one wants to hear about the,
Yeah.
You would
the
get an
goddamn
hour
license
into it.
plates.
I've never gotten an hour into the license plate game.
Fucking
I'm going pretty
99
far, I
bucks a
guess.
year.
Yeah, I've gotten pretty far.
I mean, eventually you get just so bored that you're like, all right, what could we possibly do?
There was
You're driving to Florida, it's 24 hours, and you're like, all right, we have to fill 23 more hours.
I Spy.
Yeah.
so terrible.
Mhm.
Like what there was a road trip game that I played like 2 years ago. I was going to the city with a couple comedians there, local comics, and there was like a game where everybody that you named, you had to name somebody who was in a movie with them.
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
just- I forget
Yeah.
What the fuck game is that?
I think it's just called the movie game.
Movie game. And then there's another one where it's like you had to use somebody's last name as a first name and just keep going
Mm-hmm.
or something. I forget what the fuck they are.
Those are
they're
great
fun,
road
though.
trip games.
Yeah. I don't know though. Now it's just cell phone. Everybody shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Put
6
on-
Degrees from Kevin Bacon.
What's 6 Degrees from Kevin Bacon?
You ever played that? Where you have to, you either play it where you have to pick an actor or actress, and then you either pick Kevin Bacon, so you have to relate it back to Kevin Bacon. So you'd have to be like, Gwyneth Paltrow was in Iron Man with Robert Downey Jr., who is in this movie, with Kevin Bacon.
Yeah.
And you'd have to do
They
that.
should use this game to diagnose like neurodivergent kids. Just one kid who just has all the facts and like a calculator randomly helping him.
Mhm.
Like, I don't know.
Let's see.
There was like did you ever do like a camp game or do those lame like camp presentations at the end of the week or something?
Yeah, like
Wait, you guys didn't go to summer camp?
No.
Not once.
No,
No.
I mean,
you guys are probably lucky.
I would go to like a kind of like a daycare type deal where
That's what I mean. This summer camp.
Oh, okay. I'm picturing like you're gone for like a week or two.
Yeah.
Or, no, like it might be like down the road near Kiwanis.
And
No,
you're
no,
talking
well,
about like
I mean-
day camp, not
Okay.
not sleepover camp.
All right, yeah. Both that counts
Okay.
in my opinion cuz like they would call it camp, but really I'd just be babysat and they'd take us outside and shit like that.
Yeah, you play like outside games.
Obviously, Boy Scouts too. I guess was like the only one that I sleeped away at. Can't imagine. Imagine. I got an idea for a business. We're gonna take all your kids to the woods and we're gonna sleep with them for a week.
I'm pretty sure I've told this story on the air before, but you know, the summer camp that I went to was like the poor one across the street from the really rich camp.
Yeah,
So we'd all be trying to sleep in our bunks. They'd be like, "All right, it's bedtime." They'd literally have a rock concert going on across the lake with somebody just shredding guitars. Are you ready? Just like, everyone shut up in there and go to bed.
They had
Your
fucking-
jet skis and
God, that sounds like a South Park episode or something.
They had Eddie Money across the fucking lake.
Here comes Slash. Kids.
Yeah.
This fucking sucks.
Fucking Slash again.
Dude, yeah.
You know where you are. You're in summer camp, baby.
Dude,
Fuck those kids. Those kids suck.
that's kind of like
Go to sleep.
it is what the fuck was it? Anytime there was a lake, there was always like there would be several camps on it, and you'd always be like, "What the fuck? They have speedboats!" Like you're just in
Yeah.
some shitty canoe from 1950. But like I don't know, it was like sick, but there was a lot of them that were just like shitty daycares. We're just like, go play kickball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or did you guys do the like I don't know, for some reason the camp I went to did these weird like team building exercise games. They're like,
What were they building the team for?
all right, I don't know. They'd be like, all right, so there's an obstacle course and you have to get the egg on the spoon over to the other person by going through all like you'd be like, can't we just play kickball? Can we just go swim in the lake or something?
Those kids have a kickball. Why do we only have eggs?
Yeah. Meanwhile, the other kids are, you know, flipping us off on their jet skis while we're trying to carry the egg on a spoon.
Dude, the worst thing about camp was like that's where everybody finds out how fat you are. You know, I distinctly remember the first summer I like became fat. Like some girl that I'd known from all the previous camps, like I'd just see her, that like I'd fucking had. We were going to the pool or something. She's just like, "Wow, how'd you really let yourself go?" And I was like, just
Oh,
9-year-old kid.
those are the worst.
She's like, "I am fat." Jerry was fat too. Then
Kids are.
did that ever happen to you?
Yeah, you know, you get those comments, be like, "Oh,
What one sticks out the most? Everybody's got one.
as a kid."
The one that you were like, "I'm gonna fuck you. I'm gonna show you."
Well, it was like junior high. I
Yeah.
remember
That's a kid. You're a kid.
a girl in the hallway stopped me in the morning and was like,
"Oh, I know."
goes, Jerry, you're fugly. And I'm like, oh, well, good morning to you too.
Good morning.
It's
What
like that
an
was very
asshole.
unnecessary. you know?
Jeez.
I bet you she's doing well
That's
now.
awful.
No, I'm just
She's
kidding.
probably doing great.
She's a doctor.
Is she really?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
what we're
okay. That
talking
would hurt
about.
me a little bit. Be like, damn. Rhymes with pillow, the last name, right?
Yeah, and that's all we're gonna say. I don't want to put her name out there, you know.
No, put her on blast. Miss Pillow. You know who you are.
Yeah,
If you find this podcast, know that Jerry lost the weight and is now just ugly. No, I'm just-
Lost it, gained it.
I yo-yo mad bad.
Big yo-yo mode.
Oh, yeah.
Big yo-yo guy. But yeah, no, I don't know. There was always like something where camp kind of sucked now that I think about it. But like, what a liability! Like, you can't have a camp right now. I can't imagine that that's going to pan out well.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, especially with like COVID and you know everybody can work from home now, so it's like they don't even need to
Yeah.
have a camp.
Did I tell? I think I might have told this story too. Did I ever tell the one about the dude with the squirt guns?
And pee-pee?
No.
Oh, okay.
no.
There's
that
no
one.
pee-pee in squirt guns?
No. There's like one camp counselor who was like really cool and would like hang out the kids. And there's this other guy who thought he was really cool and be like, guys, we're going to pull all these pranks this summer. He'd be
Sounds
like,
pretty cool.
it was pretty cool. But one day he like grabbed a squirt gun and he's like, yo, I got the super soaker. I'm going to go and soak all of Yusef's stuff. And then we're just like, I don't know if that's such a good idea, man. Like, you might not want to do
Who's
that.
Yusef?
He was the cool one.
Oh, okay.
So the one who thought he was cool was just like, "Guys, watch this. This is gonna be classic." So we're all just sitting there, playing tetherball, hitting the ball back and forth, and then all of a sudden we see him run in there. We're like, "Okay," and then you just hear like 5 minutes later, "No, you do not!" And he's dumping the guy's clothes out onto the front lawn. How do you like that? How do you like that shit? How do you like it when I take your stuff and disrespect it like that? And he just yelled in the guy's face. We're just like, I told you not to do it.
Wow. Yeah.
You know what? That actually
That is
unlocked
going to be hilarious.
that unlocked a memory in my head. All right, I remember in Scouts, like anytime like a new group of Scouts would come in, we'd do like little playful hazing. You know what I mean? No big deal.
Oh, boy.
Obviously, whichever kid was like the biggest douche, we'd big bullseye on that kid's back. But I just learned the way that it was taught to me, like because I got hazed. You know what I mean? So I was like, it'll be funny. So this kid had like what we'd have to do is we'd set up these tents from like the 70s, stinky old musty tents. And like they were shitty, like they would take on water. It was always shitty. And you'd have to have like a fire bucket nearby in case like one caught on fire. You'd have to like.
Damn.
So like what we'd do is like just kick the buckets over near this thing, and then it would flood the bottom of their tent. And they're like, ah! But like okay, so this one time, me and this kid Johnny, I'm not gonna say his last name. We were just like, yeah, let's get that kid's fucking tent. Little asshole. I think the kid's name was Neil or something. And we like went over there and we kicked the bucket over, and then like we'll just say one of the kids tripped over it, and then like Neil's dad was in the tent. And he's like, "That's not gonna work." And we were like, and just froze for like 10 minutes. We were just like, "What do we do?" We're caught. And like, I'm also thinking like, he must be getting wet by now. Like, is he gonna come out of there? Like, I was just like waiting for him to catch us, and then like the other Johnny took the fall for him. What a good egg. She's like, yeah, no, I kicked that bucket over. Whatever. I was like, what a legend. No, I don't know. There's like, what's the best prank you ever pulled, Jerry?
Prank. I didn't really do much pranks. We would just kind of like fuck with people's like houses.
You fucked with people's houses?
But not really fuck with their houses. Like I remember first getting my license and be driving with some kids, and I remember we went to Paul's and we were gonna tip over his garbage cans, and then like
Sweet prank.
I tried to like tip it over, and then like his neighbor was outside and was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And I was like, "Oh, we gotta go," but I can't just turn around. So now I'm like 3-point turning, trying to get it. Like Jesus Christ,
Fucking Austin Powers.
There's this one kid. I think we had like a sleepover at this one kid's house, and he had like the whole basement to himself or whatever, and we all took turns just peeing in the top of his toilet.
Yeah, that'll happen when you're kids.
That happened to me.
Yeah,
You did that to me.
That was your house. Yeah, we did that to you.
I didn't even know about it for like a while. I think you told me
Yeah.
like months later. You're like, "Yeah, we peed in your top of your toilet."
It's not funny. I don't know. It's just like there's the only friend. I think you were the only friend we had that had like just their own bathroom. So
Yeah.
it was like, Jared's parents aren't gonna know. This would be mad funny. You didn't know either. It was just, he was like, it smells like pee. Flush.
Yeah, I never even noticed.
I had a few good ones. One time, I speaking of getting caught red-handed,
Yeah.
we did a Secret Santa one time for school, and it was at like we had some party at some. It was I forget what it was, but it was where Toro used to be on Wolf Road.
Buckaroos.
It was a different. It wasn't Buckaroos at the time. It was something different.
Fuddruckers.
Butt fuckers?
I don't remember what it was, but I got my one friend. We liked The Office a lot, so I took an Office DVD and used a drummer and a drumstick and put it in Jello mold. Because in The Office, he puts Dwight's calculator stapler in the Jello mold. So we do that, and then that ended up exploding in the back of the teacher's car that we was driving us over there.
What exploded? The Jello?
The Jello, yeah. So there's just Jello all over the back of his car, and he's just like, what is this? There's Jello all over the place.
Wait, so the prank was on a different person? He was just like bringing the prank over, and he got pranked?
It was just a Secret Santa gift that was just a Jello mold, And then that ended up exploding. So that wasn't intended to be a prank. It just happened that way. And he's like, whose is this? There's Jello all over my car. And then I was just like, well, it's Secret Santa. You'll never know who it was. And then we finally got there. And then like, I was just like, all right, here's your Secret Santa gift. It was me. It was me the whole time. And then you just see the teacher be like, are you kidding me? You didn't tell me that was like, you waited until right now because he had to know it was Secret Santa. And then he just spent like all afternoon scrubbing his car out, getting all the Jello out of it.
Wow.
There's another one too where I ding dong ditched a teacher that
that's assault. No.
We took a like someone found it was like a meme or something like that was like the level of asshole that you are, and it was like a line chart with like not being an asshole to being an asshole at the other end.
Right.
And his name was Mr. Pratt. We changed it to Pratt hole instead of asshole. And then like photoshopped his head on the end of it and like taped it to his door and ding dong ditched him. And then we like pulled around the corner and he like I was about to drive away and he jumped in his car and like drove around the corner and like pinned me so I couldn't move my car and like knew it was like us basically. And we had like the kind of rapport where it was like we would joke around with him. So he took like a flashlight, like shined in the car and saw it was like me and all of my friends. And he's just like, guys, are you kidding me? You come over to my house in the middle of the night, call me an asshole? Come on. My wife's all scared. And then he made us all write like apology letters to his wife and like stuff like that.
Did he tell like administration at school or no?
I think maybe.
If he told them, he's a douche.
I don't know.
If he just did it like freelance, he was just like, hey, just write my lady an apology.
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what happened, but like I think he might have went to administration and they were just like, yeah, just write him like an apology letter or something like that. And then like 2 months later, he broke the window on like a tour bus that we were taking on a field trip.
Wait, the Pratt hole did?
Yeah, because we were all like, he went to the bathroom and we were like, oh, let's throw like a chip bag at him. And then he was just like, oh, you guys. And then like started playfully wrestling with like my friend, one of my friends. And then like pushed up against the window and just spiderweb cracked. Just like, oh my
man.
God.
Was
You
it on
gotta be kidding me.
was it a charter bus or was it like a yellow?
No, yeah, it was like a charter, like
Yankee
Yankee
Trails.
Trails bus.
Dude, when pranks go wrong, man.
That dude, he must have hated you guys. He's just-
I told you about the time that we stole sodas from that one douche, right? On the field trip, the CBA trip, the infamous.
Oh yeah.
Fucking guy lost his shit.
Stick him up in the ceiling tile.
Yeah. Freaked out, slammed the door, broke a hotel like window, like a big like bay window thing, just cracked the whole thing. And it was over like probably $5 or $10 worth of Pepsi products that we just like we stole like a key card to his thing from his roommate at his hotel, and they were the type of douches who were just trying to flex. They were like, yeah, we're gonna get a mini fridge, and they filled it with like Mountain Dew and Pepsi, and then we just took it all and like just like hit it, and then like every once in a while we put one out in front of his fucking door and like ding dong ditch him, and then he'd just be like, who are you? Just like screaming and throwing Pepsi cans and shit. And then he came to like toss our cell and broke the window, and then he had to pay like thousands of dollars to get it fixed. Oh man, there's this other time where my buddy, let's call him G, pranked this guy's truck window with a fucking cinder block.
Yeah, that'll happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's nuts.
pranked him with a cinder block.
I don't know, dude. I feel like I was getting pranked a lot more than I was pranking. You know,
There's another friend that I had where we would prank his house all the time, and he eventually became very savvy to it. So every time we would hang out, he would stay up like a half hour to 45 minutes after we left and just like wait in the doorway. And then we'd inevitably come back to his house ready to do something. And he'd be like, no, you guys got to go home. You can't do anything. My parents are going to be so pissed. Okay. Like the one time we were going to fork his lawn with plastic forks, just like stick them along the lawn. And then he was just like, no, you guys can't do this again. You can't do this.
Dude, that's the prank that keeps on giving, really, because every time, like, think about how much time he spent out there just keeping watch.
Yeah.
Like, just like nodding off, like, no,
They're
stay up.
coming back.
they're gonna fuck with me. That's like that's like some wartime shit.
That's hilarious.
Poor guy. What about you, Jim? Any good pranks?
The one thing about the spider web crack just made me think about at the pizza place with the old manager. Was that after was that after the we had a poor inspection?
That
And
wasn't
he-
quite a prank as much as it was
No, it wasn't.
sheer anger
it
from
It wasn't a prank. I forget why exactly he got so angry. I thought it was,
I know I was involved.
I thought it
distinctly
was-
Remember that?
I thought it was from a poor inspection. And
Was it the
then-
time that he thought he was locked in the walk-in cooler?
No.
Because he wasn't manager then. OB was.
But
And
we
he
had
was
we had a big glass push door. It was like the driver door, and he opened the door really hard, and it just like full throttle and just spider web cracked the entire door.
And he was red faced the whole.
And the door was just like that for a few days. Every time, like you just like show up and be like, "Oh, something happened." Like this is weird. Little reminder.
Could have had something to do with the air horn thing, but I did prank him in the pranked him into the walk-in cooler on New Year's. And I just closed the walk-in, and he didn't know that there was a button to like get out. He was just in there for like 45 minutes to an hour, just like banging on it.
Damn, on New Year's, a
Yeah.
busy fucking day.
Just yelling in the walk.
Well, we were working hard out there.
Yeah.
Faintly
He
here.
was just hanging out.
I'm freezing. I
Like, does anyone hear that?
did do
No,
this.
back to work.
I did do this thing. I mean, I guess it became a prank. It was really just like, I don't know. I just thought it was funny. But we have like this little like phone log thing that all the team members are a part of, and somebody made a post about, they were like, hey, they're called like butterfly vacutainers. They're like the alternative to syringes for getting blood. And they were like, the vacutainers are on back order. And so I went to go like check off and be like, yep, I read it. And it was like, hey, this word vacutainers, did you mean vacationers? And I was like, yes, he did mean vacationers. So I changed it to the butterfly vacationers. And then like, I don't know, maybe a day later, I go back to check the phone log to see if anyone else noticed it. And someone was like, oh, I hope they're like back from their vacation all right. And like it just like became this thing. And then so I'm in the meeting, we're in a meeting like the next week, and like my boss just like starts roasting this dude about it. And he's like, yeah, I hope the butterfly vacationers came back all right. And like the one guy, he's like so confused. He's like, dude, I like did not write that. And like I'm just sitting there like, oh god, should I like say something about this?
Oh my
Like,
god.
I'm like gaslighting this guy.
I did the exact same thing, but well, not the exact, I guess. Very similar thing for like Boy Scout. Did I tell a story already? There's a Boy Scout sign up sheet. We had to like sign up for roles, and like basically your name was something, and then you'd have to volunteer and write in next to your name what position you were going to fill on the camping trip or whatever. So there was this kid who wrote Guy, G-U-I, and I just like connected the top of the U, so it turned to gay. And then like his dad saw it and like flipped the fuck out. It was like, it was, dude, like I thought it was just like a ha, like, you know what I mean? Just because like, why would you write Guy? And then like, so I connected the top, and then I was just like, and then his dad saw it and got like completely like pissed off, like might be homophobic now that I look back on it, but like he was just like, come with me right now, and like pulled him outside and scolded him outside, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. Like just watching this dude, and he's like, Dad, I wrote Guy. He's like, I just wrote Guy, I swear. And I'm like, I should say something, but I never did. And this is me getting my conscience clean. So if you're out there, bro, I'm so sorry.
It's like therapy.
It was like therapy.
Yeah, eventually I told the guy. It was like after the meeting. It was the next day. I just went in the back and was like, hey, Peter. I was like, so about the vacation.
Just so you know. I mean, that's something that's so like innocent and ridiculous that you just wouldn't think would get like escalate, and you're just like, is this really getting to the point where I'm gonna have to take someone inside and be like, hey, I wrote vacationers instead of vacuum taters.
I just hit spell check. I just thought it was funny.
Like when you think about it though, gaslighting is kind of a prank, right?
Sometimes.
depends on like the degree, the severity of it, right? Like if you're like, okay, somebody brought up somebody was talking about gaslighting, and somebody was like, you don't even know what that means, and then they explained like the actual thing. It's like a play or something, and what this guy would do is he would like turn the gas on the lamp like up or down, and then be like, just scold his wife for being like, hey, why is it so dim? And she'd be like, it's not dim, it's bright, or something like that. But sorry. And anyway, I was thinking like did that start out as like a prank? Like he's like, I'm just gonna lower it and then be like, hey, what the fuck? Why did you do that? And then like coined my own term. Maybe I used it on the pod before, but gaslighting, where you just get really high and then make them question their reality while they're stoned. Like, I'm a bad person.
We were trying to gaslight this person at work by telling them that gaslighting was when you just drive around on E and your gas light's on.
That's mad good. That's a good one.
That is funny.
See, I was trying to tell like this is when somebody said the actual definition. Like anytime somebody comes up with a definition for something like or is asking for the definition, I always come up with like a random one that sounds legit, because it's fun. And I'd be like, yeah, no, it's when you like you leave like the gas on to like trickle out, and then like the area fills up with gas, and then when they come in, they explode. Like, you know what I mean? Like with anger,
Spontaneous combustion.
Oh, with that, I was
Like
gonna
you're
say,
little
someone
by
would walk
little-
in and be like, "Who would do that?"
like metaphorically, like you're just like letting a little bit of gas out, little bit of gas, and then eventually combustion, and then it explodes, and they're like an ass.
I recently found out I've been using the term barn burner wrong my whole life.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
What did you think it meant?
I thought barn burner meant, what a like snooze fest. This is a snooze.
What the fuck?
No.
it's the opposite.
Where did you
it's
get that
the,
from?
It's the
the
opposite.
opposite.
It's the opposite. Yeah.
Could you
That's
sleep?
hilarious.
Could you sleep in a barn that was burning?
No, I just like that. My dad would be all like, "Oh, we got a barn burner here."
You don't understand sarcasm.
Really, it was a boring game, so you would use barn burner my whole life. Say, we got a barn burner,
Well, if you say it with that tone, it makes
Yeah,
sense.
that works. That's good.
and
If
then
you're
the other,
like, we got a barn burner.
then the other day because I was talking to Josh about, I was hoping this game we're going to isn't going to be a barn burner because the first game was exciting. And I was like, I hope it's just not a fucking barn burner. And he's like, well, I think when I hear the term barn burner, I'm thinking something exciting. I'm just like, I don't know. And he's like, I could be wrong. And I was like, here, I'll look it up.
I think I could see why you would think that too, is because
Typically a sports contest.
Did you ever see the Celebrity Jeopardy with this Saturday Night Live with Will Ferrell when he's Alex Trebek?
Yeah.
Is every time it would come on, he'd be like real pissed off and be like, "We got a real barn burner on our hands," and he would be saying it sarcastically because everybody had negative points and like nobody was that good at all. So I could see why you'd like if you saw that when you were young, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's a snooze fest."
Yeah.
Do you guys want to know the origin of barn burner?
Sure.
All right, quick Google. The barn burners were one of two competing factions in the New York State Democratic Party in the middle of the 19th century. The name was an allusion of the story of an old Dutch man who relieved himself of rats by burning his barns, which they infested.
Wow.
So I don't understand how that translates to sporting events at all. Some crazy old dude's just burning down barns and houses to kill rats, just at his wit's end.
Some old sportscaster witnessed it and was like, "This is exciting." And then he's broadcasting a stickball game. He's like, "We got a barn burner here."
Has a barn burner. Yeah, I mean, if you think about it, most there's a certain era of sportscasting where it became very popular for sportscasters to just say things that don't make any sense at all. Like slam-a-lam-a ding-dong,
Yeah.
large Marge.
Wowie zowie, humdinger.
Yeah.
Booyah.
What was all the NBA Jam ones?
God, I hate that.
The one of the announcers for the Charlotte,
Eggs on the skillet. Sorry.
the Charlotte Hornets, he says, "Hum diddly dee."
Hum diddly
He's like,
dee.
"LaMelo Ball, hum diddly dee." Yeah. And that's like his thing.
Yes.
Or oh no, the other NBA Street was
Yeah.
the guy with lasagna on the grill. Be like, what is that? What does that mean?
I also like. Did you ever play backyard baseball?
Oh yeah. Great.
The announcers on there would have good ones like "Get on your horse," and like forget what the other ones are. really trying to show you what a kid in a wheelchair could do at the plate. I forget what the kid's name was, Kenny or something.
I think he was no, Pablo was the little really
Yeah.
good one.
Yeah.
I do remember the wheelchair kid though. He was good
Kenny,
too.
he was the best pitcher.
Yeah.
So what's it called? Anytime somebody would fuck up running, like there was like Pete Wheeler would like, oh no, he was really fast. All right, so there would be like somebody would fuck up running, and one time it was like the wheelchair kid like rounding the bases, and they had like a thing where it was just like, oh, the wheel fell off. And I was like, dude, that's fucking just in poor taste. But I don't know.
Boom shakalaka.
Here comes Chief Rocka, rockin' rhymes. Jump
I
off
think
the
so.
tip.
Anyway,
What was your favorite computer game growing up?
that's a good
StarCraft
question. StarCraft was legit. I have to
and
say,
Diablo.
Doom 2 was a big one for me growing up.
Doom 2.
Yeah.
You and Dylan Klebold connecting on the.
No.
You don't know who that is, do you?
Dylan Kleeple?
Yeah.
No.
It's the Columbine guy. Anyway,
Oh.
continue. Moving on.
Yeah. What was your computer game?
Well, I guess I didn't play a lot on computer, but I did play backyard baseball a lot. And
Backyard baseball,
the
Math Blaster.
Hercules, the movie had a game.
Oh, dude, I would get all
Really?
those stupid. Well, I wouldn't get all of them. I guess. What was the fucking? They tricked you playing Math Blasters. That was the one where like I would have all those shitty learning games or like
Mhm.
Jumpstart 4th grade,
Yeah.
and I'd just be like, some of those were actually pretty fun, but like. I don't know. I played this one game where like I was like 7 and it was just way too graphic for a 7-year-old. It was just called Myth the Fallen Lords. And it was like StarCraft type deal, but you'd just have like armies and like fields. And you could have just like this like you'd have like somebody who would like do like suicide bombs and like go into like the army and just explode and just send gore flying everywhere.
Damn.
Bananas.
Man, Age of Empires was fun.
Oh,
to play.
dude, Civilization too. That was another one.
Yeah. Age of Empires had a lot of good they had a lot of good voice lines that you could say where it'd be like, you played 2 hours to die like this.
Yeah, that's
Or like Red Alert 2 was another one that was pretty solid.
Was Red Alert the one? There was one that I played that was kind of similar to like StarCraft, where you'd have like your units and build buildings, but it was like there was 3 factions, or maybe
Soviets.
it was like the Americans, the Chinese, and then like the terrorists.
Yeah. It was like a sickle and hammer symbol. That's all I remember, and I always associate that with like the Soviets. Maybe it was the Chinese. I don't know.
Yeah, here's a for here. I don't know how we'll put it. So talk about some gory games that children shouldn't be playing. Here's a little bit of gameplay of Doom 2 of what I was playing when I was like an 8-year-old. Just corpses, like blood and gore everywhere, people blowing up, dead bodies. Just like
Glad you turned out fine.
yeah, I'm glad it turned out good
The
too.
worst thing you did was put a graph on somebody's door saying that he's an asshole.
he was a prat hole.
Yeah, yeah. Sorry about that,
Wait, what was the dude's name?
Mr. Pratt.
What was his first name?
I don't know. If I should.
Blast his government.
I mean, he was the mayor of Rensselaer for
Did it
a.
start with a C?
No, it started
Okay.
with an M.
All right. Mayor Pratt.
Yeah,
Matt Pratt.
yeah. But yeah, you guys ready to?
Man, I went to Rensselaer yesterday. It's kind of a dump.
How'd that go? Go well?
Yeah, no, it was all right. I had a good time there. But it's
What part of Rensselaer?
I don't know, it's on 3rd Street.
Oh, like down,
Oh.
yeah, down by the
That's
water.
where my dad used to live,
I don't know.
directly on 3rd Street.
Yeah, that's DJ's familiar
It,
house.
it wasn't really down by the water, I would say. It was off the exit. No, I was on 3rd Street for
Oh
a
shit!
minute.
Hang on, that's my bad. I didn't have it plugged in.
Jesus.
Yeah, yeah. There we go.
DJ got all shook when you called his familiar house a fucking dump.
Oh, man, I thought for sure we were coming out with the StarCraft.
But what's it called?
Did you guys watch Halo? Sorry, I know we're ending.
No, is it good?
No, I heard it sucked.
I heard it was terrible too. I'm not gonna watch it.
I heard that they tried to not make.
They did a face reveal for Master Chief in episode 1, and I don't know.
Does he look like him in the game?
Well, that's the
No,
thing
it's
with
not.
Chief. There's no
Never
face.
see his game. Yeah,
But then
his face.
they finally did a face reveal, and he's just a guy.
Yeah,
Should
what do you
have
think
been
he
that
is?
Mandalorian dude.
I don't know. When I saw Master Chief, I'm thinking I don't know. I picture like this old grizzled guy with scars. He's
Yeah,
been
they should
through
have.
it all.
I mean, they should have made it Arnold Schwarzenegger.
yeah,
Yeah, that's
It's just some
definitely true.
dude.
Get out.
I'm the chief.
Everybody, thank you for listening to the Butt Stuff Podcast. This has been a broadcast of the Butt Stuff Podcast. We are the Butt Stuff Podcast. Follow us on Instagram. You can see our link tree there. And you can, if you got any suggestions, hit us up on Instagram. Let us know what you think. Go listen to us in other places. Thank you for listening, everybody.
This is the fucking Terran theme.
See you next week.
Yankees win.
Hell yeah.
Win. Yankees win.
Yankees win.
Dan. Dan.
Where is Melania? Is she not till the very end of the game?
She's in this section, the Haggle Tree